Hi everyone, it's Karen and I'm back to share my second design team project for the month of November for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. And I will leave links to her shop and Facebook group and Instagram below in the description box. And please come and have a look what's on Instagram and join the Facebook group. She does post in both on Instagram and in Facebook when new things are going in the shop, so you get a heads up of when the new things are going in, which is great because some things do sell out quite quickly. And I've also linked below the designers that she has designing for her using her beautiful products, and you can go over and get some inspiration from the beautiful things they're creating. So this time I created one of the tassel angels, but I've made her into a tree topper this time. A few videos back I did show a tassel angel that I had created, and she could just be hung either on the wall, on a doorknob, on the tree as well, I guess, if you wanted to. And these were inspired by Kim Fuller, as she had shown how to do the tassel dolls on her channel, and then I sort of took it and changed it into tassel angels. And then I wanted a new tree topper this year, so I decided to add a cone made from heavy acetate, and I just literally made a cone shape and attached the doll onto the cone with just, I put a piece of cotton over the top part of the cone, it's in here, and then attached the doll on. And it's just a head and shoulders. This is another one that I have on the go, but I just print the faces onto cotton material, and then I stitch around them, and then you stuff this, and then you are able to use that for the top part, and you just basically make a tassel off their neck. That's sort of the design that is for the tassel dolls or for the tassel angels. So I used a lot of products from the store. Her wings I created with wire and lace, and then this is the beautiful trim from her shop, and I just individually cut the flowers and with the leaves attached. It was a dangle trim, and just encircled the wings with those, and then I added some stickles on there. I don't know if you can see it, but there is some stickles added in to add some shininess. I used a couple of flowers from her new floral trim that she has in the shop now, and I just cut the individual flowers out and made sort of this little sort of flower crown on the top of her head. I added in some gold and cream colored string beads that I just wound together to add in for a bit of a halo. Her hair is it's a doll hair that you can buy in a bag, and I wound this gold thread through it because when she's sitting up on the top of the tree, without the gold in it, she was very, very white. So I added the gold accents in to sort of make it have a little bit more color. And then I used a really thin, I think it's like 1/8 of an inch wired ribbon that I had received from a friend, and I created these little rosettes doing the usual rolled rose technique, and it worked really well with this tiny wired ribbon. They rolled up really nicely. So I added a few of those in her hair and some down on the parts of her dress. At her neckline, I used one of the butterfly trim that was in my design team package, and I put one of the butterflies there, and then I added a little bit of gold thread down, looks like the chain of a necklace, down onto one of these beautiful heart blings from Kim's shop, and added that in for her necklace. And then this is a piece of the applique that a couple months ago, or maybe last month, I can't remember now, I showed how to cut this up, and I used it in a project, and I had this piece left. So I used this piece on the front, and it had these pearl dangles on it. And then this is the rose trim. You can see this trim here is the same one that's around her wings. I used that at the top here. And then I applied some of this trim underneath those flowers as well. And this is another dangle trim that was in her shop. This is a piece of it here too. And this is what it looks like when you cut just a piece of it off. And then I added one of the little flowers from her flower trim on there. And I created these long dangle pieces using 3 different trims from her shop. So I started with a piece of torn cotton, and you can see that on the back. And I did that the length of what I wanted the dangle to be. And then I put the piece of the leaf trim on top of that cotton. And then I put a piece of that trim on the bottom and one of these little flowers on the top. And then I put I put one of the rolled roses and then added some flat back pearls and some little flat back gold blings on there. And I did that, I think 8 times around her, or those pretty drops. And then behind I added just some white and silver yarn that was in a scarf, and I just cut it up and used that. I used some of the eyelash trim. There's some gold beads I've added in as well. And then I've added some cream pearl strands, and then on 2 of them I put these little blings. Oh no, here it is. Couldn't find it for a minute. I thought it had fallen off. I just strung them up on the beads, and these are a couple of blings from Kim's shop. These pretty little pearl balls with the gold rondelle tops on them. And then at the bottom on her skirt, this is a piece, the main part of the skirt is a piece of a wedding veil that I got from a thrift find. And this lace here was from another veil. And I sewed it on the bottom of this one, and then I hand sewed the little pearls on, and then added the bling, glued those little blings in between as well for the underskirt. And then also on the ends of a couple of the eyelash trim strands, I added in 2 of these beautiful pearls that she has in the shop with the gold stars on them, and they have the rondelles with the little blings in them at the top too. So those are dangling down on the front too. And then, on the flowers at the top, I forgot to mention, maybe you can see it in the light, I used white Nuvo drops, which is just like a glue with sparkles in it, and then I added the diamond dust on top and pressed it in and let it dry. So this is quite stiff now, and it has all these beautiful sparkles in it because of the diamond dust on there. And the back, I wanted to finish her off all the way around because from the side of the tree you can still see the back of the angel. So here you can see I created her wings by just making a heart from some wire. The only wire I had in my stash right now was green, so you can see a bit of green through there. I did cover the whole thing with lace and then put pearls all the way around. And then these are flowers from her shop, and I added all these pearls in the center are all hand set. They're little 3 or 4 millimeter pearls and I think there's a little bit bigger one in the center, and I've just put those on once the flowers were set on the back. And then on the back of her head, I just added in 3 more of those little roses and some of the leaves coming down, and then 3 of the little rolled roses, sort of like almost like little buttons down the back of her dress. And then the bottom is just all the same as the front. It's the layers of the leaf trim with some blings attached to them, some of the eyelash trim, and some beads added in, and just to make the back of her skirt as well. So I'm really pleased with how she turned out. She's actually quite sturdy. The wings are attached. I sewed them onto the back of her dress, plus I added a little bit of glue to make it nice and sturdy. I'm actually really pleased with how sturdy she is. And I have had her on top of the tree, and she sits on top of the tree really nicely with this acetate cone that I put in underneath her. And it's easy to arrange all these dangles the way you want them and just shake her out a bit, and she looks really, really pretty. So that is my design team project, my second one for November. I hope that you found some inspiration here. I hope you'll go and check out the other designers and see what they're creating. And I hope you have a great week ahead. And thanks for stopping by, everybody. Bye for now.